Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Can Mayonnaise Kill a Jedi podcast. I am your host, the Artificial Dragon, and I am joined by my co-host, Darth Celine. And tonight, take a seat and listen to us as we talk about this episode. But first, more important things to talk about. We gotta go through our self-promotion and stuff before we get into the sexy side of the podcast.
You called it the sexy side. It's like, oh, okay.
Hey, would you prefer if I call it the jizzy side of a podcast?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're talking about jizz. Get the jokes out of the way now.
Yeah, we're all middle schoolers
We're setting
here.
up a counter over here. Ding, 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 ding.
But in all seriousness, welcome to episode 88 of a podcast, everybody. If it wasn't very clear from today's topic, it is going to be a nice chillax episode. But before we get into that, let's get the
Self-promos out of the way.
Yeah, the obligatory self-promos out of the way. If you guys love our content, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/canmail. Once again, that's patreon.com/canmail. You can contribute to any amount, the lowest being $2 and the highest being $10. The Discord is open to the public. You don't need to get a Patreon membership to access it. Anybody can join. Go ahead and join our little community that we have in the making, where we talk general Star Wars lore, share memes, or for a good majority, just talk about Warhammer 40k with me and Hannah.
Oh, mainly you, because I don't join the fucking conversation.
Yeah, you're just, I don't want to be part of this conversation.
Literally, when it happened in the server today,
Yeah.
I put my status on invisible. This was like disappear from the conversation entirely.
You're just, peace.
Exactly. Peace, bye.
So yeah, don't get offended if my dear co-host ghosts you for 40k content. That's not her thing. But I'm always available.
It fucking fries my brain, dude.
That is very fair, and I do not blame you at all,
It
Hannah.
makes brain scrambled egg.
But anyway, yeah, if you love our content, we have the Patreon. Oh yeah, in this month's Patreon art piece, we have another propaganda poster featuring a X-Wing pilot. She looks amazing and ready to bring freedom to the galaxy.
Yeah, I could see how it would be tempting to support the rebellion.
Yeah, exactly, especially with her assets down there.
Down there?
Up there, sorry. I'm a little bit scatterbrained today, so don't blame me, Hannah.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, so before I hand the mic over to my dear co-host, I'm going to give a shout out to our highest tier patrons. We have Alan Lee, Alan Martinez, Balin Horn, Y Wolves, Dr. Mbaz, Gobez, Lee Fott, Milo Khalid, Stardust, and Tristan H. Thank you guys for supporting our podcast for the past 3 years, and I am looking forward to making more content like this.
On the other hand, support Celine's Cantina.
Indeed, support Celine's Cantina. Let's just say if there's been a dark turn recently on your side.
Oh, yes, that's the perfect way to put that. Yes. Check out my blog to find out more. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, support Celine. She always loves trying to overcome her writing block, at least.
I'm trying. Damn, is it a struggle.
Oh yeah, I understand completely. But with that out of the way, Hannah, I do have a very special intro. So let me just go back to the sexy side of the podcast again. Now, please try to hold your laughter if you can, Hannah. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Tonight, we have a pleasure of featuring the Max Rebo Band, or the Max Rebo 12, a Jizz band known for their energetic performances and intricate arrangements. They are led by the talented Max Rebo, who brings a unique blend of modern Jizz to their music. Now sit back, enjoy that bloody rancor, and listen to their story.
A for effort.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this was a patron selected episode, specifically voted for by Gobez. Shout out to you, man.
Thanks, dude, but this got voted for before your computer went kaput.
Yeah, it was a massive delay, but I'm finally getting around to
Yes,
it now.
we're finally getting to it.
But yeah, with that sexy stuff out of the way, Hannah, we're going to do the proper introduction to the Max Rebo band. Tell me, Hannah, what do you know about them?
I don't know the name of the alien that's the main singer, but I know that she is in a relationship with Zero the Hutt.
Oh, Size Noodles, I believe.
Size Noodles.
Size Noodles.
And of course, Max Rebo is at Ortolan.
Yeah.
And they speak in a little funny.
I think I remember in my brief research on the canon aspect, Max Rebo's phone name is Maximilian Rebo.
Cool.
Pretty standard, but
Very standard.
but pretty normal compared to his actual name in Legends, which I will get to in a little bit. So let me ask you, Hannah, you've been in the Star Wars lore community for the past 3 years, ever since we started this podcast. Are you familiar with the meme that is called the glub shitto?
I've heard of the gulp shitto meme.
Yeah.
I kind of get the joke. I kind of don't, because like one weird looking character is literally named Gulp Shitto.
Well, I'm not sure if there is okay, so it's named that ridiculous name is there for a reason, as like, oh, this certain character that I like that's in the background, he's returning.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like it became very relevant because Max Rebo appeared in the Book of Boba Fett as like a background character.
Oh.
So that's kind of where I wouldn't say the meme originated from, because let's be honest, Star Wars has a huge case with expanding or at least reintroducing background characters.
We've talked about that multiple times.
Exactly.
And we will never stop talking about it.
Especially if we do episodes on background characters just like this one. But I just wanted to throw out the glove shitto meme because I think it's very relevant for today's topic.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, the Max Rebo band was originally the brainchild of this bird race called the Lecti. This particular one named Evar Orbis. I'll show you a quick picture of these guys. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of weird aliens in this episode if it wasn't obvious enough.
Gee, if the Ortolan wasn't fucking creepy enough.
Yeah, that is true.
Ortolans are kind of creepy, kind of cute, but fucking whatever Snice Noodles is, it's like, girl, what the fuck?
But yeah, Evar Orbis is that bird-looking fucker.
That's the cross between a Zoidberg and a bird.
Yeah, that is fair. That's an accurate way of describing him at a little bit. So this guy was basically the guy who organizes and finances the concert of his band. And he was basically a singer as well, but he was looking to put together this band. And, he's just scouting out these numerous individuals. And this is where the future members of a Max Rebo band come in. Okay. For example, we have the guy himself, Max Rebo, the Ortolan. His original name is Sorlian Patela. But he just adopted the stage name of Max Rebo because it's easier to understand.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got the Palawak, Size Noodles.
Size Noodles.
Yeah, and then I'll send over pictures of the main band members of the Max Rebo band. Goddamn.
I'm gonna make that my own joke now. Size Noodles.
Size Noodles. Okay, so these are the three main guys. Max Rebo, Shy Snoodles, and the third guy is Droopy McCool.
Droopy McCool?
Yep.
Oh my god! Oh, they look so fucking goofy.
They are pretty goofy.
Max looks a little adorable.
Yeah.
The eyes are soulless, but they're also cute.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, this is where the original band came in, which is called Evar Orbis and his Galactic Jizz Whalers. Pretty standard affair. Pretty standard.
Why does fucking Sice Noodles look like she's got titties?
Because
I know it's because she's a female, but still, her natural body looks like she's got titties.
Anyway, let me give you a little bit of background for each key member of his band.
Okay.
So the main guy, Serlin Panata, is from the Orlin homeworld, which is Ordo, very standard. Yeah. And he is the youngest of 5 siblings, and he was the smallest Orlin. And his mother was very worried that because of his small size, she was worried that he would just wither away.
Aww.
As a consequence, the young Orlin spent his formal years in the pursuit of food, eventually working in a flump house where he played for his dinner every night. Like, if you want Max Rebo in a nutshell, he's always thinking about food, nothing else.
I mean, I relate.
Yeah.
What? It's food.
Yeah.
Food is good.
This will be a very significant part of his motivation in the future, Hannah.
I get it.
And one fateful day, he was discovered by Ever Orbis, who was looking for a young and, well, let's just put it simply, an exploitable talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all like, hey, little dude, you like food, right? Yeah. You want to join? I'll make sure you'll never go hungry again. And Max Rebo was like, say no more.
Yep, say no more, I'm in.
Yeah, and
you son of a bitch, I'm in.
pretty much. And yeah, he was pretty much, I think he was the first member of his band. More people come in later, but anyway. And he was all like, I'm not going to miss this opportunity, so he accepted and signed his musical service to Evar. And Evar Orbis was the one who recommended him to rename himself as Max Rebo.
Typical talent agent.
Yeah, pretty much. And Max Rebo's signature instrument is what is called the Red Bell organ, he was a connoisseur with it.
It's a weird looking piano.
It is, yeah. Now we have Sice Noodles, Sice Noodles, who's probably one of the more experienced members of a band because she's a successful singer and performer. And, if you looked at a certain episode of the Clone Wars, she's fairly famous, especially around the HUD cartels and all of that. She was like their recommended singer, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and she was in a relationship with Zero.
Yep, the former lover of Zero the Hutt, and she betrayed him for payment by Jabba as a basically makeshift assassin.
Damn.
So yeah, Shy Snoodles, she's been around the block, let's just say. Shy Snoodles!
You're saying it.
But yes, Snoodles had bigger dreams of becoming a successful musician, an aspiration she wanted to make at any cost. She was basically the conspirator with Ever Orbis and became the lead singer of the band. Next we have Droopy McCool.
I've actually seen this species in the Smuggler storyline on
Ooh, okay, that's actually pretty cool.
I'm not going to spoil it for you because
Fair
you
enough.
need to play it.
Fair enough.
It's honestly, it's mid, but it's still good.
Yeah. You go on.
I don't know the name of this race.
Okay, no worries. Let me see if I could try and pronounce this correctly. The Kittanok. Yeah. That's right. Gonna highlight it for you.
Yeah, the Kittanok.
Yeah, the Kittanok.
Okay, cool.
So the Kittanok, they're basically from this desert world called Cordo Free. If you imagine Tatooine, but way, way worse. Like, these guys are basically desert nomads who are known for being patient and calm, and they are noted for their talent as musicians. Droopy McCool's true name was basically a series of whistles in his species language. So it's pretty much incomprehensible to other species. But Droopy McCool is his stage name, basically.
He kind of does like, if you're an old cartoon fan like me, immediately I think Droopy the dog.
Ah, okay. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
But
he reminds me of Droopy.
yeah. But this is where I say he has kind of a sad background. He was taken off of his world by slavers.
Par for the course in Star Wars.
Yeah, and then eventually Ovor Orbis found the Ketanok, and he was like, oh, these species are known for their musical talent. Okay, I'll buy you.
Oh.
So he was basically bought as a slave.
I got a big old boo leg.
Yes, you do. And basically, so yeah, Orbis, he wants to benefit himself, like just looking for exploitable musicians like Max Rebo, pay him with food, that's no problem. Droopy McCool, literal slave, I don't have to pay his ass. And yeah, that's pretty much one of the reasons why he bought him, but he didn't term it that way. He called it hiring him.
Yeah. Sleazy shit.
Yeah, and Droopy McCool is pretty well liked by the other members of his band. Sice Noodles would frequently talk to Droopy about her, everyday problems and all that, and Droopy would just calmly just sit there and listen to everything she says.
Oh, yeah.
He was basically the band's rock, I suppose.
Aw, that's sweet.
And even from Snoodles herself, she believed that Droopy was the heart of the band and the only one holding it together.
Aw.
So yeah, there's a little bit of camaraderie between the band members.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Even though Sai fucking is an assassin for us.
Hey, even assassins can be good guys.
Yeah. I mean, look at Ventress. She's a whole fucking complicated mess.
Yeah, that is very true. And Droopy McCool played the instrument of his species, which is the Chakaloo flute.
Hey.
Yeah. So with their backgrounds out of the way, let me get into their little bit of history. So Snoodles and Orbis would show off their impressive vocal talent while Rebo and McCool accompanied them with their instruments, blah, blah, blah. They would have some small tour venues in the Outer Rim and build up a small following, being responsible for many hits such as the infamous Jedi Rocks. Mm-hmm. And others like Let Be Nick, That Joyous Night, I Ate My Mate. Yeah, I know.
Good lord.
And during this entire thing, they were getting a small following. Orbis himself was the only one that was earning a profit because, most of the band members are here for other reasons like food or because they're slaves and all that stuff. Eventually, the band would get their one big break when they were invited to play at the Mos Eisley Cantina. And they were invited by the Cantina's proprietor, who is... Just going from my images real quickly, I think I read by them. Which is this Wookiee proprietor named, where are you?
That's
Chomin.
a fucking Wookiee with a mustache.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's basically the owner of that cantina in New Hope.
That's so funny.
Fun fact, he's a distant cousin of Chewbacca.
Because why the fuck not? Oh, Wookiees are related to each other.
Still, I think it's pretty funny.
It is.
But anyway, they do have a rival in a band called the Motonoids, which you may have recognized from the Biff episode. They're the guys who play the Cantina music. When they found out that that Orbis and his Jizz Whalers were also playing at the same Cantina, they're like, what the fuck, bitch? This is our gig. Give a fuck out of here. And there was this little dispute where Orbis gets killed, basically. Uh-huh. And since their boss is dead, the members of the band were like, we don't want no part of this. You could have it. And the Moto Nudes were all like, cool, thank you. And now they're kind of leaderless, and they're trying to keep the band together because, it's their only way of life. They have nowhere else to go. And Sice Noodle, she's basically the mastermind of the entire band because she was collaborators with Orbis and all that. And initially, she was the one that wanted to lead the band, but, she's kind of got a little bit of a big brain. So she was all like, hey, Max Rebo, you want to lead the band? And Max Rebo's like, hell yeah! And initially, Sice Noodles wanted Max Rebo to become leader of a band because if they anger anybody else, Max Rebo would be the one that get killed, not Snai. You know, classic, gonna play Max Rebo as my little elephant puppet over here, basically. And at around this time, they were just kind of restructuring this new band, which now has become the Max Rebo Band. They got additional members for the band, like several backup dancers, like Rhodian named Greta Janowian, Aphelion. I'm going to butcher a lot of these names, I'm going to be pretty honest. Restila Sant, who's the girl with the horns on her head, and the Twi'lek named Lin May? Yeah, Lin May.
You having a stroke over there? Are you okay? Do you smell burnt toast?
Wait until you get a load of his next name. And they...
Okay, a Rhodian with hair is fucking weird.
Yeah, I know, man, right? Okay. This is gonna be a little bit of a mouthful. They even hired this other musician, and I kid you not,
What the fuck is that?
You know what? I'm just gonna copy and paste his name in the chat, see if you could pronounce his Hannah, because I'm a little bit curious. There you go.
The fuck? What the fuck is it? This is gibberish. This is not a name. Okay, Shauda Ub Rapotwana Lantoni Tivtotola. I don't fucking. What the fuck is that?
I know, Star Wars background characters' names are ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, but I think I'm having a stroke.
See what I meant earlier by
Oh my God.
see if I'm probably gonna have a stroke from saying his name. Fortunately, he has a shortened version of his name, which is Rappertoonie.
Rappertoonie. Oh my.
Oh yeah, we're having a fun time in this episode.
Holy shit.
And then they hired a additional Jizz Whaler, which is a Biff by the name of... it's there. A Biff by the name of Barquin Dan, who ironically was the older brother of a leader of the Moto Nodes, the very same people that killed their boss.
Yes.
Anyway, though despite getting these new members, the Max Rebo band still needs to find themselves a gig. Fortunately, there was a man by the name of Naran Kofis, who allowed them to audition for a particular powerful figure.
Jabba.
Yeah, this guy was pretty much the major domo for Jabba the Hutt at the time.
Just to quickly derail, but pointing out the Biff. Not only does their head look like an ass crack,
Yeah.
their mouth looks like a brown starfish.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What
Very-
was Lucas thinking?
Very appropriate for a Jizz Whaler.
It looks like a butthole! Why does it look like a butthole?
So yeah, that aside, the Jizz jokes aside, the Max Rebo band auditioned for Jabba the Hutt, and he was actually very impressed with the Max Rebo band, and he offered them a lifetime contract with payment in the form of food.
Of course, Max Rebo jumped on
Max
that.
Rebo's like, you son of a bitch, I'm in! Before he could even allow anybody else to pipe up, he was like, you son of a bitch, I'm in!
Like, we'll do it! So it's like, what?
What are you doing? And there's this, basically Slice Noodles and Droopy McCool were not happy with his deal. I could give you an exact quote from Slice Noodles herself about this occasion.
Okay.
I could have killed Max, the little blue dope, and I'm a pacifist. All he had to do was look at the size of my mouth and my body to see that I don't eat much. Droopy wasn't happy either. He eats only once a month. Jabba was going to pay us in food, but any boss worth working for pays the band and gives them a meal on top of it. I was wrong to let Max run our business affairs. After this fiasco, I vowed to leave and take Droopy with me. If that fool Rebo wants to work for food, then he should have a solo career.
Damn, but still, she's not one to talk.
Yeah, that is very true. Well, despite Max Rebo thanking with his stomach first, the Max Rebo band kind of had no other choice in the matter, so they were just kind of forced to play at Jabba's whim, not getting paid. Well, they did get
They're getting paid in food. They're not getting money.
Yeah, they're not getting money.
They get tips.
Yeah, they pretty much get tips from the patrons that visit Jabba's palace and all that.
That's gotta fucking suck.
Yeah.
You're not making money and you're just getting tips.
And there are a couple of, so there's like this one comic, Jabba would sometimes lend them out to like, criminal rivals so that they could perform at their leisure and everything. In this one comic, they were sent to this criminal gang that was hiding out in Hoth of all places.
Because of course not.
And basically, the band was setting up, and they found out that a lot of their sound equipment were just packed explosives. Jabba wanted to kill his rival, and he didn't care if a Max Rebo band died in the process.
Sounds on the course for Java.
Pretty much. And the Max Rebo band were all like, I got an idea. So they basically set up like a hollow projector of them faking the performance and all that and got the fuck out of Dodge before the explosives went off.
Smart.
And they're like, okay, cool.
It's just like artists in real life doing lip syncing.
Yeah, pretty much. And Max was all like, okay, our sound equipment is kaput. Could we probably go somewhere else in the galaxy? Blah, blah, blah. And the band were kind of just weighing their options like, I mean, Jabba could potentially figure that we are dead, but we have nowhere else to go. Jabba's the only one who provides for us. Mm-hmm. So they kind of had no other choice but to go back to Jabba's palace.
Oh, that sucks.
But on the bright side, Jabba was very happy that they're still alive, so he recompensated them for their sound equipment and gave them additional band members. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, they returned, and behind the scenes, Slice Noodles kept trying to get herself out of a contract with Jabba, such as basically becoming a spy for Jabba's enemies, giving them intel in exchange for extra credits, that sort of thing. Though in reality, she served as basically a double agent, as the information she shared was, in truth, a falsehood provided by Bib Fortuna. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of side action going on with Slice Noodles.
Slice Noodles!
Slice Noodles! Mick Cool. So, Mick Cool, if it wasn't obvious enough, he's
Call him Droopy.
Droopy McCool, just going by their...
God. You never call characters by their first fucking names.
It's a little bit of
Jesus Christ.
It's a little bit of a habit over here. But anyway, Droopy, he is basically the guy that stood out, even amongst the colorful cast of aliens that Jabba has at his palace.
Well, duh.
He basically conveyed this quasi-mystical aura, which made a lot of people not see him as approachable, basically.
Was he forced?
No, he was not. As far as I can tell, he's just
Like,
kind of...
quasi-mystical aura. Is he force sensitive?
No, he's not.
What the fuck?
It's like that mysterious aura to him. Like, nobody knows his backstory. Of course, we don't know his actual name, so on and so forth. Even though he's basically the Rock of the Max Rebo band, he's kind of mysterious. But he kind of heard rumors from the Gamorrean guards that there are other Ketonians in the deserts of Tatooine, and Droopy has this longing to return back to his homeworld and join his brothers again, and join them in their synced melody, that sort of thing, because, you know, his race was all about music and all that. So he had that longing for the longest time. But he just stayed at Jabba's palace because that's where the Max Rebo band is. One fateful day, however, the events of Return of the Jedi came in, and they were the band that went out to the Sarlacc pit with Jabba and his yacht and all
on his
that.
pleasure barge.
Yeah, and shit happens. Jabba gets strangled by Princess Leia. Everything was exploding all around them.
Or
and
she literally set shit on fire.
yeah, pretty much. And the Max Rebo band, they didn't participate against Luke Skywalker and his friends, but they were all like, "What the fuck should we do?
Do we shoot? Do we run? What do we do?
What do we do?" And basically, like, let me see if I can find the exact part. So Jabba's dead, so obviously their contract is void, but they're still kind of debating the pros and cons of abandoning the barge. Like, they're basically in the middle of a desert at this point. And Max Reeve, and I can imagine Cy Snoodles and Droopy McCool were just arguing like, okay, what should we do? Should we stay here? Maybe we could plunder some riches. And Max Rebo was afraid of losing the contract since he felt he was living in luxury. And at this point, Snoodles and Droopy were like, fuck this, and they got off of a barge.
And they just left him?
Yeah, they're like, okay, Max, we're going to leave you to your fascination of food. Bye.
Okay.
And
Max is a very simple man, and I like him.
yeah, and Max Rebo, even though he was initially wanting to stay on the barge, through a series of accidents, he was pushed off of a barge, and luckily for him, he didn't perish with the rest of the crew when the barge blew up.
Cool.
So yeah, the Max Rebo band no longer has their binding contract with Jabba, and they're free.
And they've lost their front man.
And they're stranded in the middle of a fucking desert.
Sounds like a pickle.
Yeah, pretty much. There's this Robot Chicken short I remember where Max Rebo got out of the wreckage of the barge. He's like, "Oh God, there's a gig I have to go to. Fuck you guys, I'm going over there." It is I love Robot Chicken and their utilization of background characters.
My favorite Star Wars related Robot Chicken skit is Emperor, Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper. Fuck you!
The escalator scene. I love that so much. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. What up?
What's up? My fucking God.
So funny, yeah. So yeah, in the middle of the desert, and Snoodles was talking to the band, like, hey, Lady Valoran, she's a big rival of Jabba. We could probably have a gig with her. You know, she's talking up these big ideas. And Droopy McCool, he was kind of absent-minded because he swore that he's heard the whistling of his brothers calling out to him. And he was like, I'm going to go join my brothers. And Max Reeve was like, what are you talking about? It's just wind. And it's like that meme from The Simpsons where it's like, I have to go now. My people need me. And Droopy just walks off into the desert by himself.
Aww. That same meme, but it's in Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
It's like, I have to go. My people need me. But
You
you
didn't-
didn't do anything.
But you didn't even do anything. So yeah, Droopy just walks off in the middle of the desert, and I imagine Sai and Max were like, what the fuck? Okay, we'll just go back to Mos Eisley, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, despite Sai Snoodles trying to keep the band together, the moment Droopy McCool was off in the middle buttfuck nowhere,
There goes the rock. Band fell apart.
Yeah, pretty much. The band just went their separate ways, and that was pretty much the breakup of the band right there. But yeah, despite Sai Snoodles, most members of the band, which were the minor characters that I introduced earlier, they went off to found their own band, which are called, I think you'll laugh at this, Hannah, the Palpatoons.
Fucking what?
Palpatoons, yeah.
Oh my God. Palpatoons.
The Palpatoons. You gave you a good chuckle there.
What I pictured was, remember Looney Tunes Babies?
Yeah.
That old cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
Palpatine, but as an evil baby.
Yeah.
In Looney Tunes style.
One of these days,
I don't know. It's just the first thing that fucking came to mind.
One of these days, just for the lulz, we gotta come up with funny band names in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think I remember there was like one band out there called Boba Fett and the Assassin Droids.
The fuck?
Yeah, I know, it's really weird, but still sounds funny. Anyway, what happened to the band members? It's like that common meme of where are the band members? Nobody ever asks how are the band members. But let me give you a little backstory on, well, not backstory, what happened to the members of the Max Rebo band. Nobody really knows what happened to Droopy McCool after that, as that was the last time anybody ever saw him as he wandered into the Dune Sea.
Aww.
Though years later, some old moisture farmers said that they heard the sound of the Chekalo flutes in the dead of night, and others believed that the Droopy might have found his people.
Hope he found his people.
But those are just rumors.
I know.
So it would be very heartwarming if he did, but still.
That's sad.
It is pretty sad. A former slave now wandering the dunes of Tatooine.
He most likely died out there.
Well, he did come from a desert planet, so who knows?
What?
Anyway, Sai Snoodles, she continued a solo career, but could not emulate the fame of her youth, since most beings found her singing to be weird.
Well, yeah.
She also gained a rivalry with fellow Palawak. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. I'll just highlight it for you, or I'll just post it in the chat for you to attempt to pronounce
here I go,
it.
having a stroke again.
Yeah, this should be just stroke the episode.
Laricel.
Laricel, there we go.
Laricel Chetrunis.
Laricel Chetrunis, which is a fellow Palawak that she had a rivalry with.
That wasn't hard at all.
No, surprisingly so. Anyway, this Chelawak was also a former Miss Coruscant winner, which is like a
Well, it's the Miss World America Universe.
there we go, Miss America. That's what I was thinking
Miss
of.
America and Miss Universe.
Yeah. The rumored backstage drama between the two did little for Sai's dwindling career, and the best she was able to muster was tours of the Outer Rim under numerous stage names. So Sai Snoodles is not doing so hot right now.
She kind of deserved it.
You know, that's fair. Max Rebo, on the other hand, what happened to him? Max Rebo himself pursued his solo career, and he actually joined the Rebel Alliance.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, where he basically entertained the soldiers, while, as per usual, enjoying their food.
Max Rebo is such a fucking mood.
It's pretty much the only reason why he joined them in the first place. Food!
I love him.
He is awesome, right?
Yes. I want to be Max Rebo.
He is such
That is my philosophy of life. Live and eat.
Live and eat. Isn't that to everybody's aspirations in life?
I know, but just... He's making it by. His career is successful, and all he's doing is fucking eating.
Yeah, he would eventually relocate to Coruscant after it was recaptured by the New Republic, where he basically opened a restaurant chain called Max's Flint House, which became successful and was established on 7 other worlds.
Oh.
Max Rebo became extremely rich from his business, and he enjoyed retirement, where he lived in lavish surroundings and, of course, surrounded by a lot of food. So yeah, Max Rebo got a happy ending after all.
That's good that he got a happy ending.
Yeah. So yeah, that is our episode of the Max Rebo Band. What do you think, Hannah?
I knew about Max. I knew about Sai. I did not know about Droopy.
Yeah.
I did not know that much about Sai,
Yeah.
except for until now. But it's like, goddamn, Sai deserved it. Droopy, I feel bad for Droopy.
Yeah.
And Max, at least he ended up happy. And
Yeah.
happy in retirement.
So that's kind of their legend story. There's not too much about their story in canon. They're just doing whatever. But Max Rebo, he does return, of course, in the Book of Boba Fett with his own gig and everything. And spoiler alert, in that series, the cantina that he was playing at blows up by the Pike Syndicate. But fortunately, Max Rebo survived.
You should have seen my face for a second. My jaw went like, what?
Yeah, there was some offhanded swords. I was like, Max Rebo survived! Max Rebo surviving these death-defying stunts, I swear to God.
He's magic.
He's magic, man. While I'm thinking about it, I know we'll probably do an episode on the Orderlands sometime in the future, but there's a little bit of a discrepancy between, because in Legends, the Orderlands are basically your humanoid-looking elephant people. In canon, or in the movie sources, Max Rebo, when he's playing his instrument, those are his legs.
Fucking what?
Yeah, you can see there's one image right here. He's just sitting there.
What the fuck? I didn't need to see that. Oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's
Oh my god.
he's the motherfucking elephant Doug.
I'm gonna. I didn't. Oh, I can't keep looking at it. It's gonna give me nightmares. What the fuck?
Apparently, that's supposed to be the canon appearance of what the Orderlands look like. They're just armless
No.
elephant
No,
people.
thank you. Just make them stubby little elephants. Give them arms. Fucking no, thank you.
I just had to throw that in at the end there.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
Motherfucking Max Rebo without arms, he cannot hurt you. You looked at it again?
Oh my god.
Okay, that's gonna be a highlight of this episode.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that is our episode of Can Mayonnaise Kill a Jedi? Or in this case, we didn't get that many Jizz jokes this episode.
Still need to include a counter, but I got nothing after that. Oh my. Selena's been traumatized.
I hope you guys had a wonderful time with this episode, listening to us talk about the Max Rebo Band. And we will return for the next episode for a particular fan service race. Until then, got any closing statements, Hannah?
I gotta go meditate or scrub my brain or something. I gotta go bathe.
That's fair. That's very
I need
fair.
to go shower.
May the force be with you, Hannah.
Never show me that picture again.
Bye.
Bye.